Hi, I'm Elise Tronel and I'm a 3D motion designer working here in Paris. And I do stuff about products and luxury, and that's all. So I started to do 3D because I wanted to explore more about this technique because my background was I did a lot of drawing and I like to draw. It gave me a lot of freedom. I could do whatever I want on paper, and I did a lot of art direction in my studies for 5 years, and I became a bit bored about the traditional aspect of art direction. So I decided to learn myself 3D, so to become a freelancer. So I'm not sure how to respond to this question because for me, a mentor is someone that you know specifically in real life, but I guess my mentors are in Instagram. I get a lot of my inspiration from it. So a lot of artists like studios like 6 and 5, Peter Tarka, Nathan Riley, Dan Barker, a lot of them inspire me from the beginning actually. But also, if I have to name someone that I know specifically, I would say someone that shares my life also. It's Jonathan Plezel. He's a 3D motion designer also, and his experience is a lot to learn about. I learn about his experience, and as he has more background than me, it can be very interesting for me. So I learned motion and 3D at the same time when the pandemic and COVID happened. So really, I had the time to reflect on what I wanted to do in the future. And I decided to learn 3D and motion myself as a self-taught. So mainly with tutorials about the softwares. So not specific tutorials about how you can make this in animation that is very incredible, but rather the very general tutorials. So I gave myself 1 year to learn all of this, to get clients afterwards, to be ready to have some experience after. So it's something that came a lot afterwards, because at first I was just trying to do good stuff, enough to be acceptable to look at. So my own universe and style really happened afterwards, and I was a lot inspired by some references in my personal life. So the jewelry, I really like the luxurious things like the eye jewelry. I really like how we can produce something very artistic from a product. So I really like to do things around products. So I did a lot of artworks about products, and then I found my personal style when I was inspired by a lot of darker things like dark symbolism. I searched about some references that are not so seen in jewelry. Like I really like the work of Chaumet, who uses the references like the sun and the moon. It's something I like a lot and I use in my artworks. So I guess my style now revolves around um, my love for jewelry and dark symbolism and luxury. So yes, it's not a long time since I learned 3D. Before that, I was doing mainly art direction with the softwares you know, so Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects. Um, I knew only just a very, very few things about After Effects. It was mainly on Photoshop, Illustrator, and just my vision, I guess, my eye for art direction. It was the most important. And actually, I was still in my studies at this point, so I was just doing that, and I decided to quit in the 5th year, just to give myself time to learn. So yeah, I was just doing art direction in my studies in a school. So as I'm very passionate about drawing, I like to sketch my ideas first. I always have a glimpse of what I want to do, so I always take a pen, take a paper, and draw the compositions. It's what is most important about my work, I guess. It's my vision and the way I show it. So the colors, the composition, everything is thought of in the beginning by drawing everything. And after that, I just go on Cinema 4D and I recreate my scene. I adapt it if some details didn't please me in the scene. And also I get a lot of inspiration from things from Pinterest. So it's a process that take a few days, and when I feel very inspired, I draw, and then I go on Cinema 4D, and then the final product. So it's been just 1 year since my first client, and I have done a lot of work that I can show. So working in fashion industry and luxury industry, it's mainly that. So you can show the things until they are published, and even if they are published, sometimes you sign agreements for 10 years. So I will say that it's a compromise to do, so you won't be able to show what you do for most of the time. So that's why I do a lot of personal projects besides all that. And I guess it's a field that is demanding. It's very precise. You need to have the right vision, and in terms of renders, I guess you need to do the lights correctly, to do the reflections. It's a lot of precise work. So I think side projects are mainly what I do. I guess it's my most important part of my work. Uh, at least I think it is, because it's the only opportunity that you have to be 100% you. So it's really important for me. And of course, I want to make time for this. So I guess we could say I pay my time with my clients' works. So that's the idea. If I have time, I'm really happy. So I get clients mainly to have time afterwards. So it's really a necessary part of my process. I guess if I didn't have time to do personal things, it would be like very very hard for me. So yes, I'm still working on personal projects. I always do in the night. In the day, I do the client's works, and in the night, I can develop my own things. So yeah, there's a lot of projects that I want to do. We have only few time, but I have a lot of ideas, so it's complicated. But yes, some projects are in working. So I guess my favorite project is the De Vialet one. Um, Actually, a lot of people think that's a client project, you know, but it's not. It's my first big personal project. I wanted to do something big to get the clients I wanted to get. Um, so as I was just started in the 3D industry, I wanted to develop a project that is big enough with enough scenes that you can project yourself and be like, okay, she can do something like this. Um, and it's also my favorite one because it's the first one where I got to introduce my own style, my love for jewelry, for luxury, for reflections, I guess. So it's the project that represent me the best, I think. So I'm thinking a lot about this right now because I'm at a point that I know I want to continue in 3D and motion. I want to learn a lot of things about motion and 3D still, to do more things, to show my vision even more. Um, Also, I want to do more projects, personal projects. Um, and even I think I need a bigger project for my personal side. And I'm thinking about building a brand. Like, I always put products in my renders and my creations, and I'm thinking of building a brand for real, like uh, a clothing brand or something like that, where I can develop the whole project, that I can show a vision that is different from just a creation on Instagram. And I think it's very important for me because the first project that that shows me that 3D is really great. It was the first project I made, Maskin. It was a fictional brand, and at this time I was like, okay, it's fictional, but I would be really happy if it happened. So when I was creating the visual, I guess I was thinking at that time, I would I would like to do a brand in the future, and maybe now it's the right time. If I have time, I would like to concentrate on something like this that represent my style and my aesthetic, obviously. I think the idea I like behind jewelry is that you can create what you want. Obviously, with all creative things, you can create what you want. But jewelry, I was always fascinated by the colors, the stones, the reflection of the metal. So since my childhood, I really like to just contemplate jewelry, I think. And it's full of precision, finesse, and beauty for me. Um, so what I liked about it is I can design my own. I can design what I want, and I guess it's the beauty in the stones and the metal. Yes, I think I'm very attracted by it, and I will do more in the future. And if that was possible, I would like also to design my own, like in real life. So yes, I want to thank all the Motion Plus Design team and Cook, obviously, to have me here in Paris for Motion Plus Design. I feel so grateful, and it's a big opportunity for me, as I'm only at the start of my career, I think. So thank you very much.